Hello, welcome back to another video, and I know I've been gone for a long time, but I'm finally back. It's perfect time too because it's right around Halloween season is right around the corner. Some Spirit Halloweens have actually opened up already in my area, so this is my list on my top 5 favorite Spirit Halloween animatronics for 2022. Before we start this video, I just want to put out a quick disclaimer. The props in this list are the ones that are listed on Spirit's website. There are more props listed up there, but they're not the ones from 2022 that just came out. And the only exception I have for this list is Shorty, because he came out last year, but he really wasn't in many stores. I don't know why. Maybe it was packaging or whatever, but at least for me, I didn't see him in many stores. So that's why Shorty is in this list, and he is in stores this year. I do know that. I've seen videos and watched him in stores, so that's why I'm excited to start this list. So let's get into it. So first we're going to go through all of the Spirit Halloween animatronics, then afterwards I will list my top 5 favorites. So first animatronic we're going to start off with is the Hanging Lord Decanavar Vampire. This is a pretty cool animatronic. I'm going to pull up the video and watch this. Okay. So the video is not pulling up, but this is a very, very large prop. It's life size. I will have a picture of it popping up right now on the screen. But it's a very cool prop, and I think this one will do well. It's a little pricey. It's $199. Definitely I will not be buying that, only because how expensive it is. And it looks like it's a static prop that makes noise and has light up eyes. So let's get on to the next prop. The second prop on SpiritHalloween.com is the 5-foot-tall Shorty animatronic decoration from Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Now, this prop was introduced last year for the 2021 season. I went to a couple locations that were open near me, and I did not see any of these set up there. So I'm really hoping that this year they will be set up in the stores. The price for this animatronic is $229.99. I will be purchasing this prop because I have a coupon, and I am a very big Killer Clowns from Outer Space fan. You'll probably know this if you've checked out some of the other videos on the channel. So it is 5 foot tall. It sways side to side. It's pretty accurate to the one in the movie. It has the boxing gloves that you could put on there, and you could take them off, which I think is really cool. It moves and it has phrases. So that prop I definitely will be picking up. Stay tuned for a video on that. Now onto the second prop. Now this prop to me I think is pretty much just a Crouchy reskin, but it's a 7-foot-tall possessed pumpkin animatronic, and this animatronic looks very, very cool. I like the way the pumpkin is with the vines on the head coming down. I'm assuming that it has the same animation as Crouchy, which is just that side-to-side action. It has light-up eyes, and the mouth does not move on it. I may have phrases, I'm not sure, but it's pretty expensive. I could see why it's that expensive, but still, you can really make any prop that tall by just extending the bars on it. But it's pretty cool. And the price on this prop is $329.99. That is a pretty penny, but if you are doing some sort of pumpkin patch type haunt or lawn display, that would be a very, very cool add-on that you can add, is maybe like in the front at a walkway or like a finale piece. But definitely I could see this prop doing well. On to the next prop. So the fourth prop on this list is the 6 foot 6 inches tall Strawman animatronic. This animatronic right off the bat is pretty pricey for what it is. It's pretty much just another generic scarecrow. Nothing too special to it. I'm going to go into the quick view so I could get a closer look on how this looks, because I cannot see the head very well. but the head looks pretty much the same as any other Scarecrow animatronic that you can buy. There's not much to be said. It does look like there is some sort of like waist rope thing that is attached to something. I can't tell if that's just something in the background that looks like it's attached to it. I'm not 100% sure. This does look like it has movement in the mouth. It may have movement in the arms or the waist, not sure. The eyes definitely light up, and it has quite a few sayings. That is IR sensor activated. It has step pad capability, which is kind of cool. I don't see how you would use that though at like a haunted house, because kind of defeats the purpose of scaring people. But that is the 6'6" Strawman animatronic for $299.99. Let's get on to one of my favorite props and the next one. So, the fifth prop I believe on this list is the 5-foot-tall Regan animatronic from The Exorcist. I am very excited to see this prop in person. I do know that it has some sayings. The eyes light up, and then the neck spins around. It doesn't do much besides that, but this prop seems like it's going to be pretty cool. I do like the sculpt in the face. It's very, let's just say, scary, which is pretty cool. I like that in animatronics, and we're going to go and get a close-up view. So it does have a projector in the back that actually projects the demon from the movie, which is really cool. The only way I could see that working is if though you had it behind a wall, and then the wall was large enough and the right color to see the projection. Otherwise, I could see this being useless. But if they could incorporate the projection type, like technology that they used in this prop, into future props, I could see that being a very good advantage point for Spirit Halloween. But overall, this is on my top 5 favorites. So let's get on to the next prop. So we've made it to the 6th prop on this list. Now the 6th prop on this list is Monty, the 6-foot animatronic Symbols clown. I think that's what they're called, the Symbols. The only thing I don't like about this prop from the get-go is it claims to be 6 foot tall, but majority of the height on this prop is actually it's standing on a box. I will put a picture of this one up on the screen just so you could see how that is. But I think it's a little overpriced for it claiming to be 6 foot tall. It does have phrases, the mouth moves, the eyes light up, then you get that arm motion of it clapping the cymbals. But overall, I don't think I would buy this prop, only because I have seen how slow it actually moves, and it's not accurate to old vintage toys that you see and how fast they move. It's kind of a slower prop, which kind of is the big downfall of it. And then the feet don't look like they're like properly positioned up on the box. It looks like he shouldn't be standing on there. He's kind of like levitating off the sides a little bit. But besides that, the idea is definitely cool, and I wish in the future Spirit Halloween attempts to remake this prop and accomplish and make this thing super cool. So let's get on to the next prop. We are on the 7th prop on this list finally, and it is the Lord Raven 6 foot tall animatronic. It is a bit pricey for $299.99, but then again I could see why. It has a side to side motion with the arms. It does have noises and phrases. The eyes light up, but honestly, that's all it does. So I don't think that it's worth the $299 that it is. I think if it was priced a little bit lower, it would be more likely that I would purchase this animatronic. But for how high the price is and for what it does, I will not be purchasing it this year. So with that being said, let's get on to the next prop. For the 8th prop on this list, we have the 6 foot tall Nozzles the Clown. Now, this is a 6 foot tall prop. It does have smoke that comes out the arms. The eyes do light up, and it has pretty cool phrases, but I don't think this prop was worth a $349.99. I think that's a bit overpriced for me. If we go back to the Possessed Pumpkin animatronic, it's 7 feet tall and it's $329.99. So even though that the Possessed Pumpkin animatronic is way bigger and is way cooler, this animatronic still seems to pass it by $30, which is baffling. But this prop is cool, and I see why it's expensive, because it does have the smoke that comes out of not one arm, but 2 arms, and then it has the LED lights that are in the arms. Now, this is a pretty cool prop idea. I just wish that it was a little bit cheaper. The sculpt and the way the clown is designed is amazing. It's kind of fitting coming out of COVID-19 with a, toxic gas clown. But this clown, I wish I could afford it, but it's way, way too expensive and out of my range of pricing. So, I will be putting this on my top 5 favorites, but I will not be purchasing this prop because the price, again, is way, way, way too high. So let's get on to the next prop. So the next prop on this list, which is also one of my top 5 favorites, is the 6-foot bog zombie animatronic. This animatronic, from what I've seen, is pretty advanced and cool. It does not have the servo motion like the skeleton from last year, but it has a moving mouth, the eyes light up, the detail is unbelievably great. The scheme and color palette that they use for this is really, really cool. And we do get a lot of zombies, but something about the zombie just kind of stands out besides them all. It does sway in a circular motion, the arms move, the mouth moves, and the lights in the eyes are specifically super cool and add a lot of character to this prop. It does have some zombie groaning motions. There's no words, but besides not having words, this is the best prop ever. The only thing is it's $249.99, which is a little bit expensive, but then again, I think I will be able to afford this one if I don't buy any of the other animatronics that I have listed. And overall, this is one of the coolest animatronics I think I've seen out of Spirit Halloween, besides Death Row, which was back a few years. But overall, I love this animatronic, and it might even take first place in this list. So let's get on to the next prop, and let's go. So this is where the props start to go downhill for me. We only have 2 left, but I will explain it. It's not that I don't like these props, I just wish they could have done better with them. They could have taken them a little bit farther and made them something a little bit more than they are. And I don't think that the prices on them help either for what they are. So let's get into them. The first one we have is the 2-foot 6 inches tall Lucky Bottoms animatronic. So this animatronic is pretty much a tabletop, only being 2 feet and 6 inches tall. It has the same mech as Miserable Marie had from 2 years ago, I believe. Maybe 3, I'm not 100% sure on that. Where pretty much it just spins in a circle and then the mouth's on a joint. It has laughing noises and that's about it. I will put a picture of that up on the screen right now, as I have with the rest of these animatronics. But pretty much, I mean, it's not that great. It's kind of cut off at the waist, which is why it's 2 feet 6 inches. And the way that they kind of have the clothes just kind of skirt outwards is not very pleasing to the eye, at least for me, in my opinion. But besides that, the sculpt in the face is very, very cool. If they would have took that sculpt in this concept and made it a full-size prop and didn't have the jointed skull that just moves when it spins around, that would have sold it for me. But this prop is $169.99, so I think it's a little overpriced. Maybe a little overpriced. It's underrated for this prop. I could see this maybe in the $80 to $70 range, only because how small and simplistic this is. There's not much to it. It's basic white. So let's get on to the last animatronic on this list. So we finally made it to the last animatronic on this list, and this is the 3-foot tall Bag O' Bones prop. So this prop is a basic jump scare prop. It's just a mesh or cloth bag with a little wiring that's around it. It has two plastic skeleton hands that are on the edge. And all it really has is a little piston, or I don't even know if it's a piston, but it's a little skull that just pops up when activated. There's nothing too out there about this. It's just a basic jump scare prop. It's only 3 feet tall, so I don't even know if it's considered like a jump scare, because you might not be able to see it if you're walking around and it's dark. But it just has like a Spirit Halloween Reaper on it, and then it has Jax on there, 1983. But besides that, this prop has nothing much going for it. I wish they would have taken the concept and scrapped the skeleton, and maybe had like a demon or something like that, and they could have added smoke or lights to it too, to kind of hide it while it's inside of the bag, or maybe if they did like a box or a barrel. And then another thing is with these mechs, after they start popping for a while, they kind of start to slow down and not move as much as they usually do, which is a downfall of this prop. But it's kind of priced higher up there at $149.99, which again is a pretty high price. I feel like this prop would have been priced better at $80 to $70, much like the last prop on this list, Lucky Bottoms. But there's not much to be said about it. It's just a plastic skull on a little piece of plastic that pops up. So that concludes our list, and now I will move on to my top 5 favorites. So let's go. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to go from my first is my most favorite, and the bottom is my least favorite out of the top 5 that I've chosen. So I'm not going to go over the entire spiel, since we've already listened to that, and then that'd be pretty much me rambling on it. I don't think you want to listen to me ramble on. So, the number 1 animatronic that I think is the best out of the top 5 for this year is the 5 foot tall Shorty animatronic from Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I am being a little biased since this is my favorite movie, or horror movie out of the genre. It's just pretty cool. The way they designed it is very accurate to the movie, and I'd love to see more Killer Clowns from Outer Space stuff come out from Spirit in the future. Now, my second favorite prop out of them all is the 5 foot tall Regan animatronic from The Exorcist. Again, what sold it to me was the sculpt in the face and then the spinning motion of the head. That's really what made me put this prop at second place. The sculpt is really unbelievable. It's one of the best sculpts I've seen from Spirit in a while, and with the projector in the back, it kind of just sells it. So I think that this prop definitely deserves number 2 on my list. Now, my third favorite prop that I have is the 6 foot tall Lord Raven animatronic. This prop is third because it is tall and pretty cool. The only thing is it doesn't have any mouth motion, and it kind of just has a swaying side to side shoulder motion. The phrases are pretty cool, and then the light up eyes do add the great effect and add a decent amount of character. I'm glad they went with red for the color of the eyeballs. They do use red a lot on a lot of eyes if you want it to look demonic or scary per se. But I think the red eyes, compared with the dingy yellowish tan skull, makes it look very cool. And that's why I think this prop deserves number 3 on my list. Moving on to number 4, we have the 6 foot tall Nozzles the Clown animatronic. The reason this prop is listed so low is because the price. It's the most expensive prop on this actual list. Like I said earlier, the reason why is because they got the LED in the arms with the smoke coming out both of the hands. But the sculpt for the head is amazing, and I think the whole scheme of the toxic clown is very, very cool and unique. They haven't done much like that. So that's why I give this prop 4 out of 5. Now, I will go, and I will say, 5th prop actually is my 5th prop, but I feel like it could have potential to be better. So we're going to take this 5th prop as it having potential to be better, not the prop itself. And my 5th prop is the 2 foot tall, 6 foot inches Lucky Bottoms prop. I think this prop would be higher on the list if it had the mouth actually talk, and then it not just spin in a circle with the miserable Marie mech for the mouth, like a little rubber band that moves when it spins. If they had added legs to this prop, then gave the mouth motion, like I said earlier, this prop would have been higher. And now for my number one prop, higher than my number one, which I've just decided now, because I didn't forget about this prop, believe it or not. I just saw it. Higher than my number one, only because design overall, over every Spirit Halloween animatronic, this is like the coolest one. It is the 6-foot tall bog zombie. So the reason this prop is like number one over the number one is because Spirit really has done a lot of zombies over the time that they've been around, but there's never been something as unique as a bog zombie like this with the amount of detail. It has different colored fabrics. It really looks like it came out the swamps of the Everglades in Florida. That's why this prop is number one over every prop that I've listed, and that's why I think this is the best prop that Spirit has offered in a while. It is kind of pricey at $249.99, but I think that price is worth it for how much good quality materials you're getting from this prop. So that's the conclusion of my favorite props and the props from Spirit Halloween 2022. And that's the end of the video. So stay tuned and see you next time. This was Drop Dead Spectre, signing out.